Hi, this is Sandy with Glass Moose. Today I'm going to show y'all how to make my finger lace rings. It's using the same method that we used on our ladder stitch bracelet, if you've watched that, but in a smaller scale. So let me back out here a little bit and show you the equipment that I use. My favorite type of bead to use on these, because we're dealing with fingers and you don't want to be real big, is these Precosa seed beads. They're size 8/0. Comes in a hank or half a hank and a lot of different colors, and just seems to be about the right size for rings. Today I've got 2 different colors, so you can make multiple color rings like what this one is. The center part is a different color, and the same with this one. Or you can just do a mix of colors. Today I'm using gold and amber for the center. Other things you're going to need, I like to use trilene or some type of fishing line. A real thin fire line works fine too. If you're going to use elastic, then make sure you get a really small one, a 0.04 or at a 0.05, a half a millimeter thick. Some type of glue to anchor your knot when you're done. Fingernail polish or jewelry glue works just fine. Some clippers. Here's a ring sizer. They're great. You can pick them up for about $3. We sell them on our cart too. Just really nice to have. And let's get started. First off, you're going to start off, and again, you can get these instructions downloaded for free off of our website, glassmoose.com. Go to our shopping cart and click on the information reference how-to pages down on the bottom left-hand side of our cart links, and you can download the PDF as well as view this video again if you lose it. So we're going to start off with, I'm using trilene, 12 inches of trilene. We're going to double it up, and you need to put on, for our bottom loop down here, I'm going to start with the, since I'm using a different color, start with the center one. And again, these are size 8/0 seed beads. And then I'm going to put 6 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. 6 on the other side. Notice I don't try to pick up those little seed beads. I just kind of flip them onto my string, and that's a good thing about using trilene, is it's stiff enough that you can just kind of flip those seed beads onto it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm ready for my center bead again. So I'm going to pick one up, and I'm going to cross through just like what we did with the ladder weave or the cross weave, and pull it down tight. Now I found for about a size 6.5, 7-inch ring, if I alternate my counts, like this one I did 6, the next one I'll do 5, the next one I do 6, we're going to make 6 loops all together. That seems to be about the right size for the average person. So if you're making these for craft shows, that works about right. Now it's going to vary a little bit depending on the seed beads that you get. If you get Chinese seed beads, they're not as accurate, so you may have to add one or subtract one every once in a while. If you want a bigger ring, add more beads in there, maybe do all 5 loops. If you want a smaller one, do 4. And this one I actually added a center bead there. I started with the fancy bead and looped through those and did my cross stitch around. Okay, so you just kind of have to play with it and adjust and find out what works best for you. If you're using stretchy, again, you've got a little more leeway than if you've got regular thread like what I'm using. So again, like this one shows, we're going to do 6 loops all together. This one's 6 count, 5 count, 6 count, 5 count, 6 count. Then I'm going to finish with a 5 count. Looks like I lost one of the beads. 1, 2, 3, 4 on there. Okay. Set this one aside. Pick up my last bead over here that slid off when I moved it. And then that also, since I'm ending with 5 or 6 here, ending with 5, I started with 6, so that makes a real nice even count. Now, if you flip it over so that it's going away from you and you squeeze this last loop or the very first loop that you made, if you didn't use a center bead, usually the very center one will pop up and you want to run your thread through That's again why you want to use a really nice thin elastic if you're doing an elastic, because you need to get that through these really small holes twice. So we're going, one strand is going through that very first middle bead, pull it tight, and then I just do a regular overhand knot. And you'll notice it cinches it up really nice. And I always like to be extra sure, so I'll do a couple of them. And then I also don't like to cut my thread right next to where my knot is. So I just feed my thread through a couple. And that kind of gives it a little tail there so that I'm not cutting right next to my knot. It doesn't matter which way you go. You can run them both through the same way, or just doesn't matter. Just tucking it in and hiding it. Maybe. Okay, this one's not wanting to cooperate, so I'll just take it through the same way. Doesn't matter, like I said. Helps if I could see better too. There. Okay, then also before I trim it and I lose that knot, I just add a little fingernail polish or hyper cement glue to it. I like hyper cement because it holds really well, it dries hard, but it doesn't stick to your fingers like a lot of the other jewelry glues and super glues do. Okay, once you get it glued, you can trim it up, and there's your ring. Thanks for watching. Again, you can download the instructions step by step and all of the seed counts and information off of our website, glassmoose.com. Click on Portfolio Cart link, and that'll take you to our cart, and then you'll find a link on the left-hand side on the menu for how-to, reference, and tutorials. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, give me a call or email, Sandy@glassmoose.com.